So obviously I'm a huge nature lover and I want to be able to give back to nature with everything that I do. So as a way of doing that, for every metal print I sell in my gallery or on my website, I make a donation that plants 100 trees. So these trees are planted by either Trees for the Future or Eden Reforestation projects, which are two excellent nonprofits that plant the trees with different tree planting models. The Trees for the Future model is a forest garden model, which is really incredible, where they basically transform desert into food forest with tree planting. So they're planting on farmers' land in Africa. So there's 5 countries in sub-Saharan Africa, and these farmers are farming land that we would think of as desert. It's completely lifeless. They're growing peanuts. They have to use chemical fertilizers to get the peanuts to grow, and they make about $200 a year profit. That's it. So it's really hard for them to live off that. So what Trees for the Future does is it helps them plant a perimeter of 2,000 fast-growing multi-purpose trees around their land first. And they give them the seed and education. They grow the trees into seedlings in a nursery, and then at the beginning of the rainy season, they plant the seedlings around the perimeter. And these things grow fast. I mean, we're talking up to 15 feet in 1 year. And those trees, as they grow, they're also putting down deep roots that are rebooting the ecosystem in the soil and pulling up minerals from deep down in the soil. So the trees act as a perimeter that keeps out wildlife, that keeps in their children and their livestock, and also helps keep back the sand from dust storms, and creates a living fence. So within just a year, those trees have actually increased the fertility of the soil enough that they're able to plant fruit trees. And the fruit trees also continue that process of rebuilding the soil, to where within 4 years, the entire 2 acres is rows of vegetables, livestock intermingled, a really well-established perimeter. I mean, the entire ecosystem is restored in just those 4 years. And then the farmers collect the seeds and they give them to their neighbors and teach their neighbors to do it. So it's a program that just keeps multiplying. And if enough farmers in an area do this program, the Forest Book Garden program, it actually brings so much rainfall back into the soil that it seeps into the springs and the rivers start flowing again in that area. So pretty amazing when you think how much time they're spending just walking to get water. Their children can't go to school because their children have to go get water every day. And with the Forest Garden program, they have food to feed their families, they have something to take to the market, and they have enough money. Their children can get educated, which helps so many things, including birth control and a healthier, livelier future for everyone there. So that's the Forest Garden model that Trees for the Future plants with. And then Eden Reforestation plants in a number of countries around the world, but the one that I am choosing to donate to first is in Madagascar. And in Madagascar, they're planting mangrove forests. And what the mangroves do is they actually connect the land to the sea. They grow in the coastal area, so it's really easy for them to propagate. They call them propagules, where they cut off part of a mangrove and stick it in the sand, and then it actually grows into a tree. And the trees will do a couple things. They stabilize that coastline. They create habitat for fish, which is super important because most of these coastal communities depend on fish for their food and for their income. And they also store a lot of carbon, because all trees pull carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere as they grow. And these store the carbon dioxide in the soil under the water, where it can't oxidize as easily and go back into the atmosphere. So it's called blue carbon, and it's a really long-term way to store carbon. So mangrove forests are really amazing for that aspect too. And then another wonderful thing is the wildlife. I don't know if you're familiar with the ring-tailed lemur, but they're an amazing animal and they are very threatened. And planting trees in Madagascar with Eden Reforestation is helping provide the ring-tail lemurs with the habitat they need to make their comeback too. So for every metal print I sell, I make a donation that plants 100 trees. And in addition to my own tree planting donations, together with my wife Ima, I've co-founded the Trillion Trees Campaign, which is an educational and fundraising campaign that aims to inspire people around the world to plant 1 trillion trees. You can learn more at trilliontreescampaign.org, and you can sign up to plant trees for as little as $3 a month. It's really affordable, it's super simple, it's a great way to give back to nature, and a really great way to help create a better future for all of us.